CMD command prompt. Continue. Yeah. Uh, so I'm on D drive, my D drive, and here I think we have CD React something. Yeah, React app. In that we have this welcome app and my first app. Both are same actually. Both are same. So if you want, I can again start from very core, or if you want to continue from the last session where I stopped. Anyway, one and the same thing. So let's go for the from the very core. Create React app. Uh, mm, component comp app. Just give me 1 second, and that's it. It will take some time, but no problem. In between, just open your browser and React introduction. Just search this part. Open W3 Schools. So we are up to here. ECMS scripts, ECMAScripts. We are actually following ES6 standards. So we can use classes, arrow functions, and with variable like late, constant, or variable keywords like that. Basic syntax to use class in JavaScript is like this: class car, then constructor, then member methods, member functions. Someone will ask to unmute.
Hello?
Yes, Vrinda.
Yeah, your voice is very low.
Oh, just hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
1 second. Hello. Now?
Yeah, it is little better.
Okay. So I will try to speak a bit louder. No problem. So hope now you all are getting my voice. I think I can use headphones as well, but it's fine. So guys, here we are up to like we can follow the syntax, class syntax, constructor, then the member variable, member methods, and just go through this link. You will find everything like class, parent class extends to child class. This is basically example of inheritance. The basic thing you must know about inheritance, that there is only one logic behind inheritance, is that you can use the member variable of parent class into the child class. That's it. Don't go for private, protected, abstraction. No, don't think more about that. Just simply remember that the member variable of parent class can be accessible to its child class. That's it. And arrow function, yeah, I'm going to also explain you some of the arrow functions like this, why to use, when to use. This is the shortest way to declare your function. So this function is simply going to return this string, hello world. That's it. Our hello can contain one parameter as a val, and it will simply return hello, whatever parameter we are sending. Hello, let's say hello Akash. That's it. So this is quite useful content. You can simply scroll down and that's it. You're done with most of the things with is ECMAScript 6 version. So here is my version. Here is my folder, comp app, cd comp app. Here I'm inside app, and let's say code dot to export that folder. Perfect. So we have this folder, and we can start our development environment by saying npm start simply, and here is our website. Yes, this is our first page, and let's go and jump into our site. So what I don't want this svg file. I'm going to delete this. Again, I don't want this index.css. I'm going to delete this again. I don't want this test file. I'm going to delete this also. Perfect. Yeah, I will keep this app.css as of now. And also I'm going to delete all the chunk from here. So perfect. So I have nothing in my page, and also go and remove everything from here. I want simple app.js. Also, I don't want index.css. Also, I don't want this file. Save, and that's it. Okay, this is just because I have to add at least one child component here, and that's it. Semicolon. Now what happened? Done. Okay, perfect. So I have this page, and let's go and start doing some R&D on data binding, parameter passing like this. So let's say I have one folder with name http pubs, and in that I have separate folder for home page, and in that home page I have one file with name home.js, and also I have separate file for that home.css for that page this way. So in http pub I have home. Again in src I have one folder with name common. This is basically empty. In that home I have this stuff, and if I want to have one more folder, let's say product, yeah, here is another folder. Then I will create product.js, product.css, product.spec.js for testing multiple pages, multiple files I can create simply. So let's consider that we have only one page as of now as a home.js, and which is linked with their own css, and we have one more folder common. So everything is empty as of now. So let's go to the home page and try to build a component. So the way I am going to create component is basically classic way, older way, but very soon I'm going to switch to arrow functions, standard class components and everything, use effect, use state and everything. So today let's use one example with classic style. Let's say function and say home. This is my home page. I'm just going to return some kind of HTML, and in that let's say div, okay, and say class is equal to let's say product. Okay, div class is equal to let's say content, and in that say h3 homepage like that. Let's try to import this page in our app.js first. So before doing that, let's say export default our home page as it is. So this is our home page, which is going to return this HTML stuff, and I'm going to import this home file, home.js file, into my app.js, and I will simply add that component over here. So how I'm going to do that? So say import home from, and say dot slash from current directory http pub home, and here is my file home.js. So this is my component, right? So let's say before here say h1 and give some title. Let me use word as input. sorry. And before that, let me say div class name is equal to header as usual. And before that, test tutorial tab. Okay, what happened? Why not like this? Now perfect. So after that, I want that home component. So home backslash and awesome. So we have header and home page. So in app.js, there is a home component. Home component is here. So hold your control key and click over there. So you will directly jump to that component. Awesome. So we have home component. So app is our parent component, and inside app, we are calling this home component. And inside home, let's say we have what we did yesterday. We are up to the JSON placeholder, right? Mm, So go to the JSON placeholder, pick any mm, any fake JSON API, user title, and completed title. Okay, perfect. So we have a list of to-dos, and yes, I want this much stuff. This is really awesome. So let me copy everything from here. Actually, I don't want this much record, but it's fine to have. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to declare my constant and here I will say to-dos is equal to this array. So which is having a huge set of array, but just keep in your mind there is an user ID, title, and completed, whether it is completed or not. So let me hide this part. You can simply use these arrows to show and hide part. Even if you have number of lines, you can simply wrap it up, close it up like simply. So like we have pros, and as I said, we can go here and we can say pros dot map. In that, in that you can say simply to do and arrow in bracket. You can write your own HTML over here. Sorry, you can write your own HTML here like div, and inside div, let's say if I want to show div inside a paragraph, I want to show to dot what is the column name, title, right? So let's say title. So to dot title. So this is your array. To-dos is your array. Map, we are going to fetch one by one record to do, and here is the title. Let's see whether it is working or not. So if you jump to our page here, we got all the records. Awesome, right? But guys, I think it's a bit complicated way to do everything inside one page. Why don't we slice this page also? Because we are a good developer, so we should follow the modular approach, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, extremely sorry. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one child component to show this to-do part. So inside the common, I'm going to create one more component with name to-do.js. Perfect. So here we have. Let's follow our own style. Function to do. Here I'm going to do something, and here I'm going to say export default and to do simply. And here inside I'm going to say return. Here I'm going to pass something. Div class name is equal to do. Let's say testing simply. Okay. So this is my component, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to call this component inside home. Instead of showing this way, I'm going to call that component over here. So let me delete this and import that to do component over here. So let's say import to do from one pack, then one more pack, and then common, and then to do. Perfect. So here is our component to do. Let's hide this part, collapse. Not home, this only this JSON array, and inside here, inside our map function, call our component, and perfect. So you will see only testing number of times, depends on number of records. So guys, problem here is that here we have a JSON array. Let's say this is a static example. I'm not calling actual API, but let's say I'm calling this, I'm getting this data from the database, and I want to pass this record by record, one record, second record, third record by record to this to-do component, right? How I'm going to pass this record, just this JSON object to this component. So for that, we have to use parameterize of approach towards the component. So let's say this is, just remember that here everything is like HTML tags. So this is your tag. Component is work as a tag. So what I want to pass, I want to pass title, right? So title, where is title? Look at this. This is your JSON object. Here is your title. And yes, I'm going to say that that object to do dot title is my title. Awesome. So anything else that you want? Yes, I want one more thing. From here, I want this completed. So let's copy this and say completed, completed. Okay, one more thing that I want here. I think I'm going to use, there is something like ID, user ID. So I want this ID. So I'm going to use this ID, to do dot ID and ID. Perfect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send some parameter to my to do component like ID, title, and whether it is completed or not, like this. So let's check whether it is working or not. There will be no change. You know why? Because still I'm only sending this parameter, but still I'm not fetching those parameter over here, right? So for that, let's say what you want. I want ID, then I want title, then I don't remember the name. I think completed is the third name. Let's say completed. Yes, in this way I can take those parameters. Quite easy, very simple. So instead of testing, say h3 and say id is equal to, and say here id. Let's see. Okay, my mistake. So wrap it up as array. So just make it an object and that's it. Man, now this time you have to work. Still running, still running, still running. Not sure. Okay, if it takes more time, simply close it and run it one more time. Simply close this. Okay, perfect. ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we got everything and awesome. So this means we are able to pass our ID to our to-do component. This way we can also pass our title. Here say title. Yes, here we got title. Awesome. As I'm going to use this variable after some time, but just keep it in mind that yeah, we have this. In this way we can pass the parameter. Can we change the way we currently declaring this function? Let's try to change it into the standard ES6 arrow function. So let's say constant to do in this, then bracket, whatever you have from here, just copy everything from here and paste it over here. So after this, just mention your arrow function. These both the things are same, function to do or this way. So I'm going to remove this, nothing will change, everything will be as it is, and that's it. So if you are using this approach, this is older approach, but I think most of the developer, those who came from ASP PHP backgrounds, those they feel much comfortable with this syntax. So I'm just trying to switch from this syntax to this syntax. They both are almost same. Just instead of function, I'm going to use constant or late or var, something like that. Whatever parameter you are using as a formal parameter, I'm going to declare it over here before arrow, and then before curly braces function body, I'm going to use this arrow function. That's it. So perfect. We are here up to here. Okay, let's try to make a few changes here. Now we have completed here, right? This is basically a Boolean value. Either it is true or false. Yeah, we have true also, we have false also, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the style. Okay, first of all, let's say B, or let's say if it is true, then I'm going to show completed. If it is not true, then I'm going to show not completed or pending, like that part. So how you can achieve that? Like ng for. If you know Angular, then just compare ng if ng for with this syntax. This is much more easier way to use this. So what I'm going to do here, I will simply say if it is completed, then means and inside that bracket, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say B, and here I will say completed. Or you can write div, you can write number of lines of HTML chunk over there, and instead of if it is not completed, then I will say pending. Awesome. So this is pending because false, pending. Here if we got completed, here pending, completed. Perfect. I think you got it. What I mean to say here, ng if ng for, right? So one more thing, like what if what uh, if I want to apply some cascade style sheet based on some variable, that is also easy. Let's say style and use, this is conditional, that's why I'm going to use this, and say color is equal to something, and based on what I'm going to use this variable if completed. Guys, do you know ternary operator? Hope you know. Then here I'm going to say green, or I'm going to say red. If it is completed, then green, otherwise I'm going to use red. So this is pending red, completed green. Awesome. So here it is working properly. Okay, let me show you what it means by the ternary operator. Okay, the way you are saying if A is greater than B, then you say print A is greater than B. Else you say print B is greater than A, right? So instead of this, what we do, like we can simply say print in bracket. Okay, let's say let or constant large is equal to A is greater than B. If it is true, then A, otherwise B. That's it. So instead of writing this much chunk, I'm going to simply wrap it over here. So before question mark, there will be a condition. After question mark, before colon, this is the true part, otherwise it is false part. Same thing. If here, if complicated is true, this means if it is true, then it will show green, otherwise it will show red. So color is either green or red. Super awesome. So let me remove this part from here, and let's see. Yeah, it's working. So guys, suppose my question is that, let's say we have 3 parameters, so we have to write this much chunk every time. So if we have, let's say 10 attributes, 20 attributes, so this is a bit complicated, right? So I can fix this. For that, you can simply say triple dot, this is spread operator, and say to do. That's it. Still it will work, not an issue. So what it mean by the spread operator? Just spread operator, JavaScript, write down like this, and you will find what it mean by this. This is not W3 schools, guys. Okay, pick anything, from anywhere, no problem. So spread operator, basically, suppose you have array of numbers, but you don't want these brackets, you directly want these numbers, you can directly use spread operator. This is not right example. What I want something else. That's why I prefer and okay, if you know PHP extract function, how it works, same way, similar way it works. What it will do, it will simply extract key value pair from this array, like user ID is equal to 1. So in this case, it will simply call user ID is equal to 1. So spread operator means it is extracting key as a variable, value as a value. Simply, this is the meaning of spread operator. And if you are using spread operator before array, it will simply convert those array element in as a parameter to that function. Okay, got it? Like, okay, I will cover that topic. Just keep in your mind, if you have an JSON object and if you want to extract it, so simply use spread operator, otherwise go one by one. And here what we did, we simply took this. Guys, this is not the right way to directly take this parameter. We need prototype. Prototype means schema, structure, proper schema to type checking. So I don't remember the package name. Let's say, my God, one more time. Let's go where it is. How we can jump over there? Yes, Nunda.
Yeah, you mean to say that spread operator we need to use only for when we are using array, not in object?
Here I'm using for object. In this
Yeah,
current
so
example, we are using for object.
yeah, but in that constant variable, you're putting all these details inside the array, right? In another file.
No, logically, this is your object. Even this is array, but here it is object, right? This is
But in
single
line
object.
number 3, yeah, this is array, na? Array inside object, na?
I'm not using a spread operator before todos. I'm using spread operator before todo. This is object.
Okay. Okay.
If you see here, this is a different variable. This is array, but here if you see, this is todo. This is an
Okay.
object.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. Here we got, yes, prop types. So guys, just remember this name, prop types. Copy this. Oh my God, we have only 7 minutes, but no worry, it will take only 3 minutes. So my already command prompt is busy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my terminal and simply install that npm install prop types, and that's it. Once this part is done, you will find an entry inside your package.json. Here we got prop types, and that's it. So let's go and use that prop types inside your todo class. How you're going to use, I don't know. Import, what is the right word? What is the right word, sir? Prop types, I don't know. Prop types. Let's see if it is work. If it works, that's good. So basically declare your prop types using this class. Let's say constant prop types. You can use any name over here, XYZ, also fine, but it's always better to use identical name. So let's say prop types is equal to inside bracket what I want, ID with what type. Let's say prop type dot, it should be a number. Then what? Then I want title, I don't know, type. Then I want completed, I want type. Then say boolean, here say string. Perfect. So declare your schema prop types over here. Simple, just install this package, import over here, declare your argument parameters schema over here, and use this, just bound these prop types to your todo class. So let's go here and say dot prop types is equal to prop types. That's it. That's all you have to do. This is actually type checking, and in future, let's say API call, I'm going to explain why to use prop types. As of now, just do this as a practice. Don't go in much more detail inside of this. Just follow this, guys. What happen if I forget to, if our JSON object is without that attribute completed? So in that case, it will, by default, it will consider that appending means false. Nothing, null is again false, right? But what if I remove this title from here? It will become nothing, right? Or let's say ID. If there is no ID, so what will it will show null. So we can make it default. If let's say if ID is missing, in this case, if you want to have 0, simply say default argument 0. So if there is no ID, then it will become a 0. Yeah, this is not right example. I'm just telling you that, yeah, this most of the cases we have to have some default argument, default parameters to the function, to the components, to avoid some bugs or any ethical in the executions. So this is an example. I think I already explained you what is component, how to pass arguments. So let's move to the questions by Noman. Noman, I think I already answered your third question, and I don't remember first question. Yeah, I remember. So, man, actually, it's very complicated to explain you what is meant by index, what is meant by this file in first few lectures. So, my basically my approach is to go slowly one by one. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one by one topic, but just give me 10, 12 days. Within 10, 12 days, you will come to know everything from where it goes to where, how execution works, and also they like as you said, we split it out, JavaScript, HTML and CSS. Here is an example that I already did. Here CSS is different, JS is different, right? But yeah, today I'm not going to explain you CSS part, but yes, we can go with the same approach as Angular does. But I think this is much better that we have JavaScript and then HTML. This is much more comfortable than Angular approach, right? So this is all about today's session, guys. I think tomorrow, Monday, right? Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. So next lecture will be, maybe tomorrow I'm going to take your lecture, but on Tuesday and Thursday there will be no session. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday there will be sessions. So depends. If I'm not going to take your session on that day, I will inform you, let's say 4 or 5 hours before. Yeah. Yes, Ganesh, you can stop recording.